All right, welcome back everybody for another deep dive. This time, we're looking at Arsenal's situation on the right wing after Bukayo Saka's unfortunate hamstring injury, and we've got a good collection of articles and analyses here, and we're going to try to make sense of it all. So, what are Arsenal's options, both internally and in the transfer market, and maybe even more importantly, what does all this tell us about Arsenal's long-term strategy?
Yeah, it's pretty fascinating, isn't it? Just one injury and suddenly we're like looking right at the core of Arsenal's whole tactical setup and their ambitions for the season.
Absolutely. Saka getting injured during that Crystal Palace match, you could feel that ripple of concern going through the whole fan base. And they were right to be concerned. I mean, he's been such a key player for Arsenal. And Arteta's reaction at the time definitely didn't seem like it was just a little knock.
Yeah, it really shows how important Saka is. There's not really an obvious like ready-made replacement, just waiting there on the bench. So it means Arsenal and Arteta have got some tough decisions to make. So why don't we start by taking a look at what people are calling the internal options? Those are the players already on the roster who could maybe fill the gap.
Well, right after Saka went off, we saw Gabriel Martinelli move over to the right wing. And he didn't just look comfortable there. He actually really helped them win that game. I mean, that cross he made for Havertz's goal was a thing of beauty.
Yeah, Martinelli's performance definitely gives us something to think about. He's a dynamic player. He can create chances and score goals, but can he do that consistently on the right? That's the good question. Remember, he's naturally a left winger, and if you move him permanently to the right, it could really mess with the balance of their whole attack.
Yeah, that's a good point. And it kind of makes you wonder if this is Raheem Sterling's chance.
Right.
He came to Arsenal on loan with all this hype, but he hasn't really found his groove yet. Could this be his moment to prove himself?
It's definitely possible. I mean, Sterling's proven himself in the Premier League. He's got pace, he's tricky, but he usually plays best on the left or as a central attacker. So is he even right for the demands of the right wing in Arteta's system? That's what Arteta's got to figure out. That's the million-dollar question right there. Okay, so we've talked about the guys they already have. But what if Arteta decides to look outside the club? The transfer market, there are always some interesting options out there.
For sure. And I bet the rumor mill is already churning, coming up with all these potential targets. So what kind of player should Arsenal be looking for? Are there any names that really jump out?
Well, given Arteta's style, you know all about attacking football. They really need a winger who's comfortable on the ball in tight spaces, but who can also deliver those dangerous crosses into the box, someone with pace and good game intelligence, someone like Bryan Mbeumo over at Brentford.
Mbeumo, yeah. He's really impressed me every time I've seen him play. Really direct, skillful, and seems to have a nose for the goal.
Exactly, and his stats back it all up. He's always up there with the top creators in the Premier League.